Morning guys, Larry the tractor guy here. Hey, it's 7:30 July the 20th this morning. I was hoping to get a little rain last night. We've had nothing but 100-degree plus days, and it's 7:30 this morning and 90 degrees out this morning, if you can believe that. We got a lot of calls to make today, but real quick, I was wanting to show you one of my projects I got going on here. So I've got here a 1934 model Twin City Minneapolis Moline, and I believe by the serial number this was number 8 that was ever built out of 4,000. And I've had it running, had a little issue with the front of the timing cover here, and kind of made a patch and kind of got that glued back on there. It's not just anywhere that you can go and buy a timing cover for a 1934 Minneapolis Moline, but thought it's a super cool tractor. It's a hand start tractor. I rebuilt the mag to get the fire to the plugs, and then it's just really a pretty neat little tractor that I wanted to show you this morning. There's the serial number plate. We're gonna get out in the field this morning, and we've got a 9230 to go look at. The guy's having some electrical issues, and he's got some oil pressure problems and some other codes that he's getting on his 9230. So we're gonna run out and check that, and we'll check back in with you here in just a little bit. We just got out in the field here on this 9230 with the electrical problems, and it looks like he's got a chisel plow hooked on. So we're gonna get out here and run this tractor a little bit and probably plow a little bit and see if we can recreate the problems that he was getting with the coolant overheating, and then also his oil pressure. He doesn't think that he's got a problem as far as oil pressure or overheating the engine. We think that he's got more of an electrical wiring problem, or maybe bad sensors. So we ran the tractor just a little ways. See pickups parked over there at the corner of the field, and we just took off and plowed just a little ways and noticed that something didn't sound right with the engine, and so we stopped and shut it down, and looks like we've left a pretty good trail of oil there in the field. And so we got to looking at the engine, and looks like we've got a lot of oil coming out of our blow-by tube, coming out of the bottom of the engine, and the turbo doesn't sound exactly right either. So we're going to take a look at this turbocharger real quick, see if we've got a turbocharger failure, and also look at the cooling system real quick. So we ran the tractor just a little bit and found that we've got bigger problems. We really don't have electrical issues, and I'm going to start this thing up real quick and let you see what's going on here. So the turbo's making a terrible noise, and we got a lot of white smoke out of the exhaust, and you kind of hear that engine. So we're gonna go ahead and shut this engine down, not to create any more damage than we need to, because he's got bigger problems with this tractor. And then we also discovered that it's lost coolant in the coolant tank. We don't know how much, but the tractor is way super over full on oil. We'll let Caleb check the oil here. Go ahead and wipe that.
Ah, looky there. Smoke coming out of there.
Go ahead and wipe that dipstick off there, Caleb, and stick it back in there and show us. Let me see. Let's get a look at where it's supposed to be on the dipstick there. So we should be right about there if we're full, and I think we're right about here. So go ahead and stick that in there and check it real quick. So you can see how far we are above the full level on the dipstick. So we've lost coolant, we've got coolant in the oil, and so we just have bigger problems with the engine. I suspect that we've got a head gasket problem. I don't know, maybe we've got a EGR cooler failure, but typically you wouldn't see that much oil in the crankcase with a EGR cooler failure. So I suspect that we've probably got a head gasket and we've got a major engine failure here. So we're gonna have to take this thing into the shop, and we'll follow up on that when we get it in the shop and get the engine tore down. We've got this 9230 in the shop now, and as you can see, we went ahead and removed the engine out of the tractor because we had so much coolant in the oil and figured that we probably had some major engine damage to take a look at. So we went ahead and pulled that engine out, and I'll show you some of the stuff that we found here. So we did find that we had an excessive amount of coolant in the crankcase, and when we disassembled the engine, the head gasket looked pretty good, but the sleeves were below the sleeve deck, and so we're going to have to shim those sleeves and rebuild this engine. And we also found that we had spun a bearing on the front of the camshaft, and so we went ahead and drove an old bearing in there to make sure that we didn't damage the block and that the engine was rebuildable. And then also I'll show you real quick a quick look at the camshaft here, and you can see the old bearing there on the camshaft. Also, some of the damage that we've seen is the turbocharger. The turbine wheel and the turbocharger pretty well lost the bushing and destroyed the turbo, and so it looks like the engine's going to be rebuildable. And so we're going to go ahead and continue on with rebuilding this engine, and we'll let you know how it turns out. Just checking in on this engine rebuild on this 9230, and looks like got the pistons and the liners in, got the new head on, and new camshaft installed, so it's coming right along. So we're going to let these guys continue to keep working and rebuilding this engine, and we'll show you what it looks like when we get ready to put the engine in the tractor. Let's check this out real quick. We got the engine in the 9230 rebuilt and ready to put in the tractor. It's hanging on the crane here. We're getting ready to stab this engine in the tractor and get this machine up and running and get this customer back in the field. So as soon as we get the engine running, I'll check back with you. We got the engine back in the 9230 that had the engine problems, and rebuilt the engine, a complete rebuild on this engine. Pistons, liners, new camshaft, and pretty well just a complete rebuild of this engine, this 9-liter engine in this 9230. And I just want you to listen to this engine real quick. Man, it sounds really good. It sounds really good, nice and smooth running engine. So we're pretty excited to get this tractor back in the field to this customer and get him going. He's got quite a bit of ground to work and get ready for fall planting season. And hopefully we'll get some rain here soon. And so hey, I appreciate you guys watching the videos, and check out some of the other cool videos that we've got out there. And we'll be seeing you guys soon. Larry the Tractor Guy signing out. Hey guys, check out Larry the Tractor Guy videos here, other videos here, subscribe here, and buy all your John Deere parts here.
We'll make it work. I think
We're gonna have to make it
we'll make it work. Come on, let's go.
We need to make
You need some food.
Y'all already burned me out.
some bloopers.
He's sitting in the sun over here, man.